first service, Influencer Summit. This morning we'll be talking on the power to penetrate any market. The power to penetrate any market. The power to penetrate any market. Hallelujah. The power to penetrate any market. That is, and I want every one of us, whether you are in business, you are a career person, whether you are a student, whatever area of life you find yourself in, this teaching is exactly for you. I want you to think broad through the course of this teaching. Whether as a leader in the church, as a service unit member, whatever it is you are engaged in, I want you to think the application of this teaching in your life. It is more than a business teaching. No. It is a life class. Say life class. Listen to this and listen very well. If ever there was a chance given to mankind for a market takeover, it is now. I speak as a prophet and I declare it. If ever there was a time, a chance that mankind was given to take over the market, it is now. When I say the market, I mean whether you are a pastor, whether you are a businesswoman, businessman, whether you are a career person, if ever there was a time to take over, it is now. Some 6 years or so ago, God ministered to me right as I landed in Dubai, January of 2016. And he said, raise me a takeover generation. Raise me a takeover generation. The thing I like about God is this. He doesn't speak because of your present. He speaks because he knows what is happening in eternity world. He even knows your background. He knows what you are going through. He knows what the future holds. So when he speaks to you, don't ever say, Father, you spoke to the wrong person. Wrong address. No. You are the right person. You can take over the marketplace right now. I am talking about in politics. I am talking about in business, in commerce. You can take over. Education, whatever industry, you can take over. This is the most ripe season. The most ripe season. Many people don't understand what happened in 2020 exactly around this time. Remember, it was around this period that lockdowns were coming in place. Many don't know what happened. Let me show you the prophetic side of it. The enemy meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Let me show you the prophetic side of it. It was a realignment of all things. I will not say for the first time because the world has gone through this, but in this season, for the first time, God brought everything to par. The entire world. It was not an African thing. It was not an American thing. It became a worldwide realignment of all things. It was not just for a particular people. It was a worldwide thing. The enemy meant it for evil. But those who are wise will bring their meaning to it that will make them to benefit from it. The technological advancement in the last few years has literally afforded everyone a seat at the table. Sir, if you are poor, it's your choice. If you fail in this life, it's your choice. There has never been a better season and greater opportunities for everyone to succeed like it is now. You know, in our season, you can do business in a one-room house and nobody ever know. They don't know the color of your skin. They don't know your gender. They don't know your age. They don't know your academic background. You just do business online and your products go everywhere. But there was a time you have to go and present yourself at a boardroom. When they look at you, they scale you. Small boy, what has he come to do? They look at you, they see the clothes you are wearing. Already they read meaning and they've already concluded, we are not giving business to this one. But the technological advancement has given you a seat at the table. If you create an app right now, will they ask whether you did technology at school? IT, would they? Would they? If you put your clothes online and say, I'm selling, will they ask where you made them? But if right now you tell people, I made my clothes in Old Naledi, some people will not come there to buy. That was the season. It is over. You can put them online. Everyone is the same online. Have you ever seen people that you know physically? When you see them online, you are like, is this their twin or something? Because I don't know you like this. Makeup has improved. People are looking different. Even people that have spots, they don't have them anymore. Because concealers are there. They conceal everything. You look better and smooth. It is in honeymoon we discover matter. Technological advancement. You don't have teeth, buy them. People are looking at you, you have a very beautiful smile. Only your husband will know, or your wife will know at the honeymoon that, waiting have I done. At this point, it's too late. You see the person coming with a glass of water. You are wondering they are drinking. They are removing to put inside. Baby. Even when the pastor said you may kiss the bride, they did not feel fake. They were correct. They said, you kissed. Now, technological advancement has given you a seat at the table. Please take advantage. Take advantage. I was with one of my sons when I had traveled, and he has some songs that he has packaged. He has not yet released them. And he says to me, Dad, you know all these songs were played by people from various states, and others were in other countries. The guitarist is in Nigeria. The one playing the keyboard is in another state in America, Dallas or something like that. Another one is in California. Another one is in Michigan. But a time was, if we are to do a musical piece, all the people have to come. They fly in to sit down and arrange the music. But now, a person is listening to it on the other side, arranges, they put everything together. It's one song. If you fail, can I use the words that I want to use? You are a fool. Anybody who fails in this season, they are the mumish of the season. Yeyetik. Muamuatik. I'm telling you. More than ever before, anyone can do anything and be great. More than ever before, anyone can take on the so-called giants in the market and become greater than them in record time. More than ever before, the Davids can pull down the Goliaths. The disadvantages have been brought down. Limitations have been broken. What's your excuse? What's your excuse? Church membership is no longer the people you see sitting down in a service. Some are tuned in online. They are members. They are members. So you can have members in Cambodia while the church is in Botswana. No physical address in Vietnam. You can have members in Japan and yet you are still in Botswana. What's your excuse? How come your products are local? How come? How come you have no global relevance whatsoever? Tell a neighbor, from today, watch this space. I'm going global. Say, baby, I'm going global. Clap hands for the global neighbor next to you. Clap hands for the global neighbor next to you. You have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose at all. Let me tell you something. The advantage of being an underdog is that no one knows you. The advantage of being small is that no one knows you. The other day, say the other day, there was a game, say a game, between Italy and North Macedonia. How many of you ever heard of a country called North Macedonia? No, not Macedonia in the Bible. The one of today. Ever heard of a country called North Macedonia? It's a country, not the one in the Bible. Never. This team was playing Italy. If you come from America, where I was, you say Italy. I just had to throw that one in. Italy was playing North Macedonia. At the Macedonia, you pronounce every vowel. Macedonia. Listen to this. Let me come to your level. Italy, being known, their soccer team being known, there are videos online everywhere. So playing North Macedonia, which is not known, it means that North Macedonia can go and watch all their games and see that the goalkeeper is like this player is like this. They are North Macedonia. And you know what even those who are greater than you will do? They look down on you. So there is nothing to study. Let's just play the way we want to play. Come North Macedonia. North Macedonia held the ball. Let me tell you something. The ball possession was like 90% Italy, 10% North Macedonia. Italy had over 25 attempts on goal against the 3 attempts, the whole 90 minutes. But those guys held Italy. I mean, they held it down. Sir, Italy will do shots at goal, all kinds, all manner. In fact, prior to the game, if you asked, what are the predictions? Italy is winning. That was the World Cup qualification. The World Cup that will be taking place this December. Italy, a big club. 93rd minute. 3 minutes of the 5 minutes of injury time. 3 minutes of the 5 minutes of injury time. North Macedonia, the ball came from the attack of Italy. The guy was even somewhere in the middle of the pitch. He just kicked the ball. The goalkeeper of Italy, very tall guy, one of the highly rated goalkeepers. Hey, the guy was not ready for a shot. The ball just passed. When it entered the goal post, the entire North Macedonia camp, they went, what's the word, berserk. Let me tell you something. They were, it looked like a dream. I myself not supporting Italy. I was waiting for, it's like that moment where it's like the referee will say, there is a foul somewhere, it's not true, it cannot be. And you are waiting for that moment to see if they will not pass the ball at the center pitch. But the referee said it's a goal. Italy lost to North Macedonia. Till today, I can't tell you one player from North Macedonia. Even the one who scored, I don't know. But North Macedonia now, they are one step from entering World Cup. They'll be playing Portugal, I think, on Thursday or something, or Wednesday. My prayer is that they beat Portugal for one reason, Ronaldo to be out. Okay. I'm joking, but I'm serious. I should talk more. Do you know the story of David and Goliath? Look at how they were able to describe Goliath in detail, all the way to the weight of his spear. Right now, you know Apple. you know Microsoft, you know Choppies. Right now, you know Spa, Pick and Pay. You know ShopRite. Right now, you know CB Stores and Pep. They don't know you. What an advantage of life. Knowing them means that you can study everything they do and beat them at their game. The power to penetrate any market. Even if I close now, I've preached. Right now, you know your boss. You know the qualifications of your boss, the experience of your boss's achievements over time. You can study his thinking or her thinking pattern. And now begin to fine-tune everything and replace your boss in the very thing that your boss is doing. Is somebody hearing? Now, hear this as I plan to round up. The word is plan. I want to tell you about the story of Gillette and a company called Dollar Shave Club. These are companies in the hair removal industry. According to Business Fortune Insight, the global hair removal products market size was valued at $4 billion in 2019, projected to reach $4.9 billion by 2027. Listen to this. For 104 years, Gillette was the market leaders. Please prepare my pictures. They had influential personalities as their brand ambassadors. For 104 years, they were the market leaders. Put them up. Imagine facing a company that has been in existence for 104 years. These are some of their brand ambassadors back then. You can see in the middle there is Thierry Henry. If you are from here, you say Henry. And then you can see Roger Federer in the tennis. And then, of course, the tiger that was in the woods some years back, ravaging everywhere. Tiger Woods. Among the others as well, if you go to the next one, was Jennifer Lopez. You can see they say if you use this product, this is how your legs will look like. There is an element of gym here. If you just carry the products and do, they won't just look like this. These were their personal brand ambassadors. So people will, sometimes people will buy a product because of the brand ambassador. By 2010, they had, the next one please, 70% market share. Imagine. 70% market share. We might as well just forget. By 2010, 70% market share. They had the finances, sir. Their marketing was on steroids. At one point, it was even recorded that by 2016, their budget for media alone in 2016 on adverts, print media, television was $750 million. The laboratories that they will be testing all kinds of stuff. But from 2011, things took a knock. For 6 consecutive years. You can see, 2015, they had 59% market share. It fell down in 2016 to 54%. Of course, the executives, they blamed the U.S. economy. And they even also blamed people like BF. They said people are growing beard. They are no longer shaving. That's why we are losing market share. People are no longer shaving as they used to. There was a time having a clean shave was the thing to go. These days, you look like a baby. You don't understand. You don't know our pastor who preached the last sermon. Forever young, forever. Pastor Kamakala, when he got married, he was this body size and this face. 25 years later, he's still this body size. I'm telling you. Today is our wedding anniversary. The suit I wore then, 12 years. Now, listen, we are penetrating markets. Stop it. The suit, I still have the belt. One of the belts I had back then, a brown belt. I know where the hole it was entering then. Right now, even the first hole, the one nearer the end, it can't fit. Pastor Kamagala, the same yesterday, today, forever, man. I'm telling you. Oh, hey, listen to the wife. The wife says forever young. Hey, hey. It was not the wife. Oh, it's not the wife. Forever young. Oh, his neighbor. Forever young. So they blamed it on the market. They blamed it on people not shaving as they used to. Interesting enough, 2011, when things began to take a knock, one company was introduced called Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club. It was launched in 2011. Listen to this. By the end of 2015, they raised a total of $163 million. Watch this. Dollar Club, or rather Dollar Shave Club, didn't even have their own manufacturing site for razors and all of that. They engaged a company from South Korea to make razors for them. They didn't have the laboratories for making big researches and all of that. No, not even a huge budget on marketing. Now, watch this. When they started, their CEO, because they didn't have money, their CEO was the face of the advert. They put it out on YouTube. Within 72 hours, the viewership of that YouTube advert was about 10 million people. 10 million views. Now, who would have thought a 104 years of market presence and dominance can be taken down like that? If you are scared of your competitors, it is not your competitors that are scaring you. It is your mental capacity that is scaring you. It is your mental capacity. Dollar Shave was acquired by Unilever. Ever heard of Unilever? For a whooping $1 billion in 2016. Mind you, they started 2011. By 2016, Unilever bought Dollar Shave Club for $1 billion. You mean in 5 years, the company was worth $1 billion? 5 years, sir. 5 years. They had built themselves to the point that in 5 years, a big company was willing to part with $1 billion just to get them. It was not just a chance. In the midst of that, 2018, another company entered. It was called Harris. Harris is still there. I checked it also yesterday. It is said that Harris is worth 1.7 billion. Harris entered 2018. 21? That's like 4 years ago. They are worth $1.7 billion in 4 years. In 4 years. There are some boys in America right now. They are starting electric cars. Let me tell you what their vision is. Their vision is to take down Tesla. They don't have a vision. If we can pass Tesla, we are correct. Tesla is big. This week, in fact, Elon Musk just got the delivery of his first German-made car, electric car. I saw all of those electric cars. First electric car from Germany. These boys, they said, we want to just bypass Tesla. How much is one stock of Tesla on the market? They say, if we can bypass them, we are correct. That's all they want to do. We are correct. If you buy their stock, you can be sure their vision, if they reach their vision, you will be a multi-billionaire. If they reach their vision, they have not reached it, but their stock per share is too much right now. I checked. It's too much. Because their target is higher. Somebody said, make high targets. Even if you don't reach them, you will still be high. Imagine if your vision for this year is to make in your business 10 million pula. Even if you don't reach 10 million, you may reach 7. What a good way to fail. Listen to this. It is impossible to build anything great overnight. Did you hear what I just said? Overnight success is a mirage. Success is a journey. So is greatness. A life of significance is a journey. They require the process of time. Yes, as believers, we have faith for divine speed. I am done with this. For divine speed. They require still the process of time. Rome was not built in a day. Rome was built daily. Rome was not built in a day. Rome was built daily. There are 3 things that you will face if you want to build anything great. I will say them, pass through them. Number 1, failure. Number 2, hardship. Number 3, difficulty. If you want to build greatness, penetrate the market, there are these 3 things you will face: failure, hardship, and difficulty. All throughout the Bible, we see them. Failure, hardship, and difficulty, they come to test your spirit. They come to test your mental capacity, whether you are set to excel in that business or not. Unfortunately, many people that enter business, they are doing it for the sake of putting food on the table. What a wrong way. What a wrong motive. Hear this. I hate smallness with all my heart. Even if you are selling a pen, have a big vision. Even if you are selling water. Whatever you are doing, never entertain smallness. Never. Never entertain smallness. Never be okay with smallness. Never. You can have local relevance and still be a global player. Don't just be a street champion. Don't. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 14 says, thanks be unto God who always causes us to triumph. Meaning that no matter the failures you may face, no matter the hardships and the difficulties, thanks be unto God, which always causes us to triumph. You must have this mentality. God causes me to win always, no matter what I face. No matter the giants in the market. This was David's mentality. They explained all the accolades of Goliath. He has been fighting from his youth. He has so many years of experience. His spear is this big. His headgear is this big. His chest is like this. Everything they explained, David said, that does not scare me. In fact, that you know the strength of your competitor is what should fuel you. If I bring down this Goliath, my success will be known by all. If I lose against this competitor, guess what? It doesn't matter. He is a big competitor anyway. Now, imagine if you go against Choppies and your business doesn't work. Will anybody bother you? It was already a big company. You were trying. But if you go against them and win, you will be applauded. You mean you dared the giant. You mean you dared the giant. Never be afraid of any giant in the marketplace. No matter their connections, no matter their financial muscle, no matter their history. 104 years of Gilead, small boys entered with a lousy YouTube advert. And they took on the market. I don't care of your educational background. Every excuse right now in this moment, kick the excuses goodbye. Because you have no reason to have those excuses. You have no reason. Everyone wants to see results, but not the challenges that come before the results. Everyone wants to be on the display as the most precious metal, the gold. But they don't want to go through the fire that purifies the gold. They don't want to go through the fire that purifies the gold. Hear this. Every triumph is a product of trials. Every testimony is a product of tests. If you are to penetrate the market, you are to penetrate that industry, whether you are in the construction, whether you are in the law industry, whether you are in the auditing industry, whatever industry you are in, education, it does not matter. If you are to penetrate, be ready for trials and tests. Be ready for them. Listen to this. Don't see challenges and failure as the opposite of success. This will change your life. Don't see failure as the opposite of success. Challenges and failure and difficulty and hardships, they are the beginning of success. They are what? Say it louder. They are what? They are not the opposite of success. You see, because people have defined failure as the opposite of success. So when they reach a platform called failure, you know what comes into their minds? I am on the other side of town. Is somebody hearing? So if you are in, let's say, Pakalani, and another person is in Boatle, those are people in two opposite sides. So let's say Pakalani is success, Boatle is failure. If you find yourself in Boatle, what comes into your mind? I have failed. Success is so far. But if we tell you that Boatle is just next to Pakalani, when you reach Boatle, what comes into your mind? Pakalani. If we tell you failure is the beginning of success, when you fail, what comes into your mind? I'm reaching success. Define challenges, hardship, and failure. They are not the opposite of success. They are the beginning of success. This definition of them will help you to respond well to challenges. People embark on dreams and they are not ready to face anything that opposes them. Royal Assembly is not where it is because we have not been opposed. Have we been mislabeled? Too many times. Up until today, we have been mislabeled. Some people say we won't go to that church unless we have good clothes. That's what they say. Others say that, hey, those ones, they are just, BF is just preaching motivation. There is no spiritual power. Yeah. People have different opinions about Royal Assembly. Have we faced oppositions too many times? Opposition does not mean that you are wrong. It simply means somebody has an opinion. And opinions are the cheapest in the market. Anybody can afford them. That somebody calls you a fool does not make you a fool. It's their opinion. That somebody calls you ugly, it is the lens of their ugliness they are looking through. Not the state of your looks. It's as simple as that. If you want to break business monopoly, here are the steps to it. Number one, impossibility. The first step to breaking business monopoly, you will face impossibility. What will you face? Every business and every goal must first look impossible. If you propose a woman that from the beginning you know, this one I have her, that's the wrong person. Never start a business that you know, this one I can just start. It's a wrong business. Always go after the things that from the beginning they look impossible. It cannot happen. Your friends will tell you it cannot happen. Your friends will tell you, you are starting a supermarket. Do you know the players in the marketplace? Do you know how much it is to hire a supermarket venue, or rather not venue, facility? Do you know? Do you know? If your projections are correct, they must first look impossible. But hear this. If you persist through impossibility, the next step, you will face difficulty. They are like, From impossibility to difficult, yes. From impossibility, the dream will look difficult. When you keep pressing on, you move to the next level. No difficulty comes to be against you. Remember, all of them are in the process of pruning you. When you withstand the difficulty, you know what you face next? You face hardship. That's level 3. You overcome difficulty, you enter the stage of hardship. You must persist and never give up until you get the result you desire. To succeed in anything, continual pressing is a must. Continual pressing is a must. Number 4, if you are to break monopoly after you face number 1, impossibility. Number 2 is what? Difficulty. Number 3 is what? Hardship. Guess what number 4 is? You will face success. Now that you have gone through all these stages and you never gave up, here is success. You know, like some of those video games, you can be fighting and fighting, you meet somebody stronger. At the end of one stage, they will bring a very big opponent. You beat the opponent down, you enter next level. You face the opponents that you beat them. If you are to change level, you face another big opponent. You beat him down, you move to the next until you reach the last stage and they say you are the champion. Do you realize how champions are made? The young girl who beat Serena Williams at one of the, was it US Open? I think she was 17 years old. The Canadian or something. The year before she could not even qualify for the US Open. Could not even qualify. Only for her to qualify. Every opponent that she faced, she was the underdog. They said she's coming out. She wins. She goes to the next round. She's coming out. She wins. Oh no. Next round, she'll be out. Until she faced Serena. Serena was at the brink of making history, I think, of having more Grand Slams than anybody in history. And now she's facing this small girl. You know, it's a walkover. It's a walkover. She cannot take the pressure of the finals. The whole stadium pegged. Everybody predicted that Serena will win. Small girl entered, hammered. It looked like, no. She was just like with this one. No. That said, she was lucky. No. This said, she's lucky. She became lucky until she became the champion. Keep on winning against. Look, every difficulty is for your advantage. You applied for a job, they rejected you. You applied for a scholarship, they rejected you. It is not for giving up, it is for persistence. Rejections are to build a testimony. They are not to build a rejection spirit. Keep at it. Keep at it. We have done the greatest events in this church when we did not have money. And it look, when Dr. Miles Monroe was to come, this was on our 4th year as a church. The agent of Dr. Miles Monroe even called and said he's cancelling. Sir, it was scary. Adverts were out. Deposits were paid in different places. It was scary. People would think we were lying. We just wanted to do a conference. Our brand is on the line. What have you? Let me tell you something. Never ever give up. Impossibility, difficulty, hardship will all lead to one thing: success. Success. Know how to maneuver in impossible, difficult, and hard seasons of your life. When your dreams seem like they are not coming to pass, you wanted to be a lawyer, you did not get correct English. They say you can't be admitted. You rewrite, you fail again. Let me tell you something. You can become a lawyer coming from being a cleaner. Chinua Achebe is a pharmacist. But you know Chinua Achebe as an author of Things Fall Apart. What announced Chinua Achebe to the world is not what he qualified for at school. It's not. You can penetrate any market if you can stay the ground. No difficulty should take away your confidence. By all means, hear this statement and write in capital letters. Keep the dream alive. Keep the dream alive. You are running a church like Royal Assembly. There are people you trusted the most. They will leave you. You will feel like, oh God, What will become of me? Let me tell you something. At the point of difficulty, all hope may seem to go. It's like the light of dreaming have been shut. Pop! Darkness over. They say there is a light at the end of the tunnel. At this point, you are in the middle of the tunnel. The tunnel is all kinds of caves. You can't see any light. Many want to get married for the joy of romance. You don't reach 12 years and you have not gone through difficulty, impossibility, hardship, and then you reach success. You don't. The problem with many is that they bail out thinking that the difficulty is a proof God is not with them. Even if God is with you, you will go through the cross. Oh, Jesus. Even if God is with you, you will go through hell. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus went through hell. What the hell are you going through in your career, in your business? Your number one client left you. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. When we did Dr. Miles Monroe, one pastor came and visited us. It was a midweek service. Throughout the service when I was preaching, he was looking all around. I was wondering what he was doing. I said, is this a monitoring spirit or something? I was looking all around. After the service, he said, "Man of God, where did you get the money for that event?" Because when he looked around, 2013, how old were you? Where were you? Were you still at university? You were your 4th year. You just finished in May. We did the event in August. You just finished in May. 2013. We're full of small people. You look around, you can't imagine who has given any money because they looked broke. Can I tell you, they didn't look broke, they were. So the man of God said, "Where do you get all this money?" Sir, if what you do has its point of reference to natural things, your boldness is not correct. Your courage is not correct. You better have what I call courage in a crisis. When it doesn't look like it can happen, and you still say, "It will be done. It will be done." I will never forget one of those days. It was after one Friday prayer. God gave me Psalm 23. "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want." I asked them to sing a song. Jehovah Kimudisawan. We sang it. When we finished, we took some newspapers and cut them around a 200 puller note and say, "We are making money." You cannot penetrate the market looking like you are wise. Looking like you have... If you come from the Dada family and you become rich, is it a miracle? Is it a miracle? Your father gave you the money. But if you come from Child, you don't even know what that is. Or something, if you come from Ramogapi, what is that? And you, sir, I don't look back behind me and there is a rich father who gave me a startup for ministry. I look back, there is no rich person who financed the... Sir, there is none. I am grace made. Enter the market, find some churches with instruments. Find churches with people in the marketplace. Our church was full of young people. They just loved God. Full of ignorance. What's your excuse? Right now, anybody who says they don't know Prophet BF in this nation, they are not a Christian. If a guy is proposing you, just ask him the first question if you don't know him. Do you know Prophet BF? If he says no, just know he's not born again. You cannot... you are talking about what? If you don't know me in this nation, you are not born again. You are not. You are not. Jesus I know, BF I know. If you don't know BF, you are not born again. It's impossible. You are fake. You are not born again. Keys to penetrating any market. Let's close here. Number 1, mentality. What did I call it? You need the right thinking in the midst of wrong experiences. Let me tell you something. This is one of the things that keeps me. No matter the negativities I see around, they don't define my thoughts. You will know you have the right mind when you don't think what is happening but to choose to think what you want to see happening. That your company seems not to be doing well, that your employees are running out of your company, does not mean that you should be perturbed. If you can be calm in the midst of the storm, you know your story. You know your story. You know where you are going. Can I even say it this way? Sometimes in business and to penetrate the market, even the people you trusted the most will be the ones that will be the greatest opposition. It will be your dearest friend who will tell you, why are you doing this thing? You know how difficult business is. Look, those people are not wrong. As far as they are concerned, they don't have the mentality for it. So for you to take their word is your problem, not theirs. Don't blame them tomorrow. Sometimes it can be a spouse. You come with a business plan and your husband is telling you, never, this thing can't work. If you tear it, you are a tear in yourself. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That people are not believing in what you are doing does not mean it is wrong, and does not mean they are wrong. You are the one to be the hero of your ideas. You are the one to be the hero of your ideas. So you must have the mentality that I can do it. David had the mentality. They said, this guy has been fighting from his youth. He said, the God who has given me the bear and the lion can give me this bow. They said, hey, look at his spear. Goliath said, I will beat you down today. I will kill you. David said, I will kill you also. He cursed David by his gods. David said, you come to me in the name of your gods, with your sword. I come to you in the name of the Lord. He said, I will cut your head with your sword. I don't have a sword. With your sword. Child of the devil. Son of Belial. Daughter of Jezebel. Yeah, everything you put in, you even forget the gender. When you are fighting, you forget that Goliath is. You say, you are daughter of Jezebel. Son of Belial. Shut up, Arakato. Let me tell you what just came into my heart. There are times you have to fight scared. You are anxious, but you are fighting. Even when you are approaching to fight, you see your coffin that I'm dead. You take all the savings of your life, you are putting into this business, and you are like, you know what, I'm finished. If this thing doesn't work, I'm finished. My girlfriend will leave me. I know I'm finished. I know I'm dead. I'm dead. You see yourself failing. You see your friends saying, we told you. You see yourself, your cars are repossessed. You see yourself living under a bridge, going back to stay with your parents, and yet you are moving forward. Let me tell you something. You are the real person. There are people held back by those thoughts. But if you can move forward, scared but moving, fearful but moving, anxious but moving, uncertain but moving. You don't know the outcome, but you are moving. And you just have this one thing. I know God. Peradventure, God helps me. Peradventure. I will not take one stone. I will take 5. In case the first one, he misses. I will try the second one. And the third one. If I miss him on the 5th, I might as well just know I missed. But peradventure, God goes through my first stone. You know why some people have not penetrated any market? Because they are full of fear. They don't have the possibility mentality. Sir, after we hosted Bishop T.D. Jakes 2017, somebody said to me they want to host Bishop T.D. Jakes. I said, no problem. They said, what does it require? I told them, the person never contacted me after that. You know, it seems possible when you see it in somebody. Can I say something? The day you know what people like me go through to be your pastor, you will hold some of the opinions you don't like about us. I put it on Facebook the other day. I said, what did I say? I said, until then. You will blame your parents because of the decisions they made that you never understood until you become a parent. Please, you have every opinion of how to run a church. May we give you one? I beg, can I give you one church and you pastor it for a day, one day? Just one day. You will not agree with my decisions, but let me give you one church, one day. Just one day. You will not like my preaching style until I give you one day of being a pastor. Just sit on my chair. Let me give you my shoes. Take them. Should I give you? Walk on my shoes one day. Help me here. You want to walk on them? Walk on my shoes one day. You will think somebody is faking it. Look, blame my marriage. Just be married one day, I beg. One day. Oh, if I had children, my children, when they come to church, they'll be wearing clothes that are matching. No problem. Have 4 children, I beg. I beg, just have them. I'm asking you, have them. Please, let me give you the next service, second service. Come and preach. Covenant Day of Expansion. Come and preach. And then tell me whether you will continue after that. I beg, do counseling after this service. After 2 services, I beg, just go. Do sit there. Oh, they did not see us after second service. If it was me, I was a pastor, I will never reject people from coming to see me. Just be in my shoes one day. You will blame the healer people until you are given a voice. Or if I was doing that song, at that point, I know how I will dance. I'm with the parrot pants. Then like it. No. For every 20 minutes praise, there is about 6 hours of practice. You will have opinions about people until you walk in their shoes, until you walk their path. If it were me, everybody knows how to be a president. Win elections. You have never been a president, then you have an opinion. Even the one you are presidenting, you are not running it correctly. I told myself some years ago, if I don't know a man of God personally, I hold my opinions. That pastor is always, some people say that one time, some years back, one of my relatives came to church, went home and told people we take a lot of offerings in a service. Let me tell you something. We only took one offering, like now. They say we take a lot of offerings too many times in a service. I said, I should have taken 5. Nonsense. If you don't know the financial needs of the ministry, don't blame our financial usage. Don't. You just come here, you see a building. You know how we entered here. Do you know what it takes? Do you know how much a keyboard costs? Yeah, if I would be like a pastor like Daddy and I'm traveling to America. I was in Hawaii, never even went to the beach. I wasn't there for fun. It was work. Don't you mean? I didn't see the beach. Doesn't sound correct. Didn't see that beach. I'm telling you, I didn't see that beach in Hawaii. I didn't see it. They told me that I didn't see it. Okay. You must have the mentality to penetrate any market. Your mind must see your success before you experience it. What is too big for your mind is too big for your experience. The way you handle difficulty is the proof of your mental state. How mentally strong are you? Number 2, to penetrate any market, exposure. What did I call it? Let me show you a scripture that you have never seen the way I'm about to show it to you. Mark 8, verse 22 to verse 23. My time is gone. Mark 8, 22 to 23. Very fast, Mr. Media. Look at it, everybody. Look at it. And Jesus came to Bethsaida, and they bring him a man that was blind, and besought him to touch the blind man, right? Look at the next verse. What did Jesus do? Everybody, let's read it. 1, 2, go. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. Jesus took him out of his place. There are places you stay in, you can never be open to possibilities. Jesus said, I can't heal him here. I'm the Son of God with all power. I can't heal him here. The reason why some of us cannot penetrate the market is because we have never seen anything better. I put it on my WhatsApp status or something. I said, anytime I travel, we do big things. And anytime I travel and I get exposed, we do big things. And my traveling are always around the same period. Anytime I travel, because of exposure, we do big things. Jesus took him out of his place. He said, come out. As long as you are here, you are smelling the water of this place, you are smelling the soil of this place, you will know this is the place that speaks of blindness. Let me take you out of your comfort. Until you are exposed, you will never know possibilities. Break mental limitations. Break limitations in your thought. Low exposure is a limitation. Go for books, documentaries, travel. Damage ignorance as a priority. Anything you are doing in this life, you must have at least 5 books in that field. If you are into bakery, if you are into whatever industry, construction, have at least 5 books in that area that are going to ground you and give you an experience of how you can run your business in that industry. The greatest killer of many people is ignorance. They start businesses for the sake of having money. That's why they run people make money, they eat it in the evening. You are the worst kind of a person. You make money in the day. You buy milk for the child in the evening. You are not going anywhere. Making money in the morning, buying milk with it in the evening. Where are you going? If I was your wife, I would tell you to leave the house until you are serious. If you are paid daily, you are a problem. Let me pass. You can't afford to be slack. You can't afford to expire in this life. You can't afford to be narrow-minded, short-sighted. You can't afford to be local, unrefined, and you expect to constantly do well in business. Where have you benchmarked? Where have you benchmarked? Go for exposures. You can never do well in an area that you have never been exposed. The level of your blame and complaining and the level to which you are prone to threatening to quit is the proof you are not exposed. I know too much about church history to know the cycles in a ministry. I cannot give up. You know, as long as you are young, you can have big dreams. When life happens, you succumb. Many young people, I will never be hired by anybody. I will employ myself. And then life happened. You started writing CV. Sir, ministry is not secondary to me. Ministry is everything. I can't fail in ministry. It's impossible. Even Satan knows. Go and ask him. No, when you meet him, ask him, can that guy fail? He say, yo, that one, they can't even talk. Satan knows I can't fail in ministry. I am too exposed to fail. I am too exposed to... there will never be a day I will leave this thing to look for a job. And say, hey, to sustain my children, Botswana doesn't pay fees for university anymore. How will I pay for the children? I can never. I'm going to look for a job. To do what? To buy milk. Long livey. Can I short livey? Ultraman. Nen. Pampers. I'm too exposed. Anything you give to an exposed person becomes greater. Underexposed people belong to the past. When they get to their future, their past welcomes them. And they live a backward life. Whenever you put anything in the hands of an exposed person, wonders happen. An exposed person never does things the way they are supposed to be. Let me tell you something. Well, if a person is exposed and you give them this suit, you know what they are going to do with it? They can take a scissor and begin to cut some places. You will never know. Even where you bought the suit from, you will ask them, this is where we bought this suit. They will say no. Because that person will do something on the sleeve, another thing somewhere. They are exposed and creative. People that are not exposed, they don't keep standard. They destroy them. You give them a service unit, they don't keep the standard they were given. They lower. They destroy things. You give them a young lady who was on fire and dreaming. The moment that young lady becomes the girlfriend, the fire dies. You marry a person who's not exposed, that's your problem. Mutosna passport. Where have you been? Matuburu. You know, there are people sitting here, they've never even been to the airport. Just to go and see it. See. Others' passports keep on expiring, they renew. Expire, renew, never been stamped. Can I say this? In the book of B.F. Rams, chapter 1, verse 7. Chapter 1, verse 7. An unexposed Christian is prone to become a tool in the hands of the devil. If we give you Tehillah, you are not exposed. You know what you are going to do? You will be making us to sing the songs that were relevant in the years of hymns. You know, let me tell you something. And then you'll be seeing other unexposed Christians lifting their hands. You know what they are doing? Same Peter is reminding them of their past. He says, sing unto the Lord a new song. God is the God of newness. People like what they are sure of. The only thing they are sure of is the past. We have always done things like this. If you don't evolve, you are dead. Dead. From next month, every last Friday, we'll be doing what we call Night of Wonders. Every last Friday, from the last Friday of April, we are doing what we have never done. I want to say HIV/AIDS is shrinking. Tumors dying. You know how much demand is going to place on me? Do you know how much demand? Be exposed. Sir, I go to America. I tell one boy, no, you know, one man of God, we have a project we are doing for 10 million people. He said, how much is that? I said, it's about $1 million. $1 million. They are doing a project of $100 million. $100 million. I see one small boy, he's telling me that, you know, my savings are not correct. What are your savings? It's $70,000. Are you for real? We are in America, man. Are you for real? We got to change our accent. Are you for $70,000? 800,000 Buddha. You are as small as the little pond you have put yourself in. You think you are a success, right? Simply because your age mates are not doing what you are doing. But younger than you in the developed world are doing 15 times of what you are doing. If you are in Botswana, you don't know BF Rams, you are not born again. But let me tell you something. What have we done? Nothing. Nothing. You will think you are a champion in your family because you are the only one with a certificate in cooking. Every time you go home, you are the person. Because others have failed standard 7, so you are the champion. Only for you to be dropped in America. People are having master's degree, PhD, master's degree in culinary what. Yeah. They say that whales and sharks, if you put them in a small pond, they grow to the size of the pond. Take them out of the pond, throw them in the ocean, they grow as big as they can ever be. I wonder which pond you are in. You are limited by your environment, your economy. You don't have to travel anywhere to expose yourself. You can enter social media. You can enter YouTube. You can expose yourself through documentaries, all sorts of stuff. All sorts. Before Royal Assembly began, I read about 37 biographies of men who made it in ministry and those who failed. I learned from those who failed and those who made it. How exposed are you? Maybe you are making mistakes that a company that went down years back, they made. But because you don't read, you will never know. Because you are not exposed, you will never know. We live in an information age. Information is readily available. I went to the Rockefeller Center in New York City. Rockefeller Center. Rockefeller, it is said that if Rockefeller was alive right now, his wealth of then, Rockefeller is the first registered U.S. billionaire. Put that picture up. Registered billionaire. The first billionaire. Rockefeller right now will be worth over $500 billion. That's the Rockefeller Center. That's their building. You see that even the camera can't take it correctly. Very tall. You know what is inscribed at the entrance of that building? Put the next picture. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of your times. If you are from Royal Assembly, you know that verse. Rockefeller was a children's department teacher. John D. Rockefeller. You are making money, but you are leaving the church. You are wicked. Satan will find you there. Men who became big, they still regarded God. You know, people can be so stupid, especially in this environment of the world. They can be so stupid. You are making business meeting one day that there's a service. You see, right now is our wedding anniversary. Some people are so stupid on their we went out to sleep out. You can't come to church for that. Your marriage will end miserably. Don't dare such kind of nonsense. Your business should not take you from God. He is the anchor of your everything. At the entrance of Rockefeller Building, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of your times. Isaiah 36 verse 11, I believe. At the entrance of the Rockefeller Center, Rockefeller will be worth $500 billion now. The richest. Who's worth more than that? I think Elon Musk is around 200. 500 billion. Putting inflation into place and all of that, his worth back then. Be an exposed person. You are leading a department, be exposed. Stop leading ignorantly. Stop running your business with ignorance. You are too loaded to be ignorant. And finally, how do you break into any market? Partner with God. No matter how much you are exposed, no matter your mentality, never forget that life is spiritual. Everyone in business must ensure their business is registered in heaven. It may be registered at SIPA. Let it be registered in heaven. How do you ensure it's registered in heaven? Your business is an entity by itself alone. Your business must be engaged in spirituality. Spirituality. Let the people you have employed know that we start the day in prayer. We start the day in prayer. We don't bribe, we don't connive, we don't blackmail to get deals. Let them know. Let them know. Holiness is the hallmark of our business. And then financial obligations as well. Your business must pay tithe and give offering. You gave offering as a person earlier. Has your business given offering? Has it been he said, may the Lord remember your offering in the day of trouble. God will remember you as an individual in the day of your trouble. But in the day of your business trouble, he won't remember it. Because your business is not registered. He does not even know that it's operating. Every business must pay tithe, must give offering. Every business must be run with holiness and righteousness. Partner with God. Partner with God. When you partner with God in your business, some of your business partners that you are working with will be born again via you.